Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is Kevin Gilmore. Going to get started here in just a second. Just want to double check if anyone can hear me first. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is Kevin Gilmore. Going to get started here in just a second. Just want to double check if All right. Okay, I think we're good here on sound. Just wanted to. Okay, perfect. Getting some good feedback here. Everyone can hear me. That's fantastic. We're going to get started here in just a second here. Just want to make sure everything is set up correctly. And let's see here. All right. Okay, we're going to get started here. A lot to talk about with the tropics. We're going to kind of go over both Tropical Storm Marco and Laura. There's been some significant changes to Tropical Storm Marco's forecast track now, with potential impacts all across southeast Louisiana and even southern Mississippi expected from the latest 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time advisory package. We're also going to talk about Laura, where we could have some impacts also as well later in this week. And we're going to talk about in detail what we can expect coming up here all through the upcoming week ahead. So at first, I want to make a pretty clear point here, a little bit of a difference, and I want people to kind of understand that what we do and what we serve. This is going to be kind of like the first thing we're going to talk about who we are. We're the National Weather Service here in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, located in Slidell, Louisiana, and I want people to know that we serve parishes in southeast Louisiana and southern Mississippi, and we have neighboring offices as well. So I'm going to move here real quick to show you the other areas around here. So we have other offices, neighboring offices. You need to know where you are on a map. This is very important for you to know which offices serve your location and where you live. Of course, us here, you're watching us at NWS New Orleans Twitter. We have a Facebook as well. If you have friends and family in Mobile, they have their office as well there too, where they post updates on social media. Friends to our north, Jackson, Mississippi, at NWS Jackson, and even to our west, National Weather Service Lake Charles. Just kind of know your location, where you can find your information. You go to these web pages, and they'll have more specific forecast and potential impacts from these tropical systems posted on their web page. But I just wanted to show you here, located where we are in southeast Louisiana. We also the parishes that we cover, even some southern Mississippi counties as well. This is the area that, for the live stream you're watching now, that we cover. And for more detailed information, if you live in any of these surrounding areas across the northern Gulf Coast, please check out their webpage, their Twitter and Facebook as well. So we just want to kind of get that out there first. I want to let people know what we do, where we serve, and where to find information for neighboring offices. So let's go ahead and dive right into it first here. The very first thing we're going to show is going to be Tropical Storm Marco. See if it should be looping here. Tropical Storm Marco, we did have some significant changes to the forecast track. Marco is about 700 miles southeast of New Orleans, and it's starting to show a little bit of, it's kind of struggling with its presentation on satellite. A lot of convections onto the eastern side of it. Without getting too much of the details of the meteorology, there's a large trough here in the west, which is causing some shear. And of course, that's some good news, which will help keep the system from becoming a more significant system as it moves north. However, this is going to be the one that could potentially impact the area as early as on Monday. And then further back well to the east is going to be Tropical Storm Laura, over 1,500 miles away from New Orleans. So this one's well further back, currently impacting Hispaniola and portions of all across Puerto Rico as well. This system does have the potential to impact the area as well. So these are the systems, Laura and Marco, that we're going to be talking about here coming up. And let's go ahead and dive in a little bit more into some more details here. First, here's the latest with Tropical Storm Marco and the forecast track. As you can see, there's been a significant shift to the track now to the east, which includes, as you see with the cone, projected cone now includes all of southeast Louisiana and a large portion of southern Mississippi. We're expecting the potential for there to be impacts to begin as early Monday, and conditions to deteriorate as we go through the day on Monday and a Tuesday. Now, of course, I know with us being this close, we don't want people to pay attention to the direct center as there could be some adjustments. Even this update at 4 o'clock was a very significant adjustment. There could be more adjustments as well. Just pay attention that if you're in the cone, to make sure you have a plan in place. That's pretty much the most important thing. This system also is expected to be here earlier than Laura. So this one only has just a short amount of time before it gets here. And again, we're expecting impacts to the area likely from the system. This is Laura, further to the east, well back to the east, impacting Puerto Rico and Hispaniola. As you see with the latest track at 4 o'clock Central Daylight Time, also has the cone across the same area. This is southeast Louisiana and southern Mississippi. Later in the week, this upcoming week, we're talking about around early Wednesday, possibly going into Thursday as well. Conditions could be deteriorating yet again. The big thing we want to push across here is that preparations for Laura could be more difficult if there are lingering impacts from Tropical Storm Marco. Don't let your guard down. We want you to stay vigilant that there could be some changes. Just because the storm has passed, there is the potential for impacts from Laura coming up behind it as well. So this storm, we continue to have, we do have pretty good confidence that both storms will bring impacts to the local area. However, we are less confident on the impacts from Laura than we are from Marco, due to the fact that, as you can see, coming up through Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, if you know your geography, it's going to be going across Hispaniola, even across Cuba as well. And this could have some interactions with the storm's strength and even location, which could change the eventual path and landfall position. So just know that there could be some changes, but for now, impacts from both systems remain possible. We now have hurricane and tropical storm watches in effect. If you're anywhere in the CWA area that I showed you earlier, from southeast Louisiana and south Mississippi, you are under a watch of some sort. Hurricane watch is now in effect for a large portion of the area of all of coastal southeast Louisiana, south Mississippi, even all the marine waters, and inland southeast Louisiana, parts of inland southeast Louisiana. Tropical storm watch further inland, north of I-10-12, all the way up to southern Mississippi. And this is in effect right now. Tropical Storm Marco, again, is forecast to strengthen as a hurricane as it moves into the southeastern Gulf. This will be of Mexico tonight. Marco is then expected to move across the central Gulf of Mexico as a hurricane Sunday, and then it'll be approaching our area. Just so I want you to know the difference between a tropical storm watch and a warning, because we're in the watch phase right now. The watch phase means tropical storm conditions, that sustained winds of 39 to 73 miles per hour, are possible within 48 hours. So we're in that 48-hour window right now. And just know that if the track remains where it is, and it's just when it comes out into the Gulf, and it stays, model guidance stays confident on the strength and position, realize that we could be going to tropical storm warnings as we get within 36 hours of expected impacts. Hurricane watches, we know they're in effect. That's hurricane conditions are possible in your area. That's 48 hours before we anticipate tropical storm force winds. We do not have any warnings in effect right now. Hurricane conditions of if the system does look like it may become a hurricane, which it currently is forecast to become. That's a Category 1 hurricane. It'll be coming. We'll see some warnings coming up across our area. In addition to the tropical storm and hurricane watches, a storm surge watch is now in effect for all coastal areas of southeast Louisiana and southern Mississippi, and this includes the tidal lakes and Mississippi and Louisiana sounds. For storm surge, we're going to want to go over this very specifically for a lot of people I know there's a lot of locations sensitive to storm surge. Right now, as far as inundation goes, we're expecting 3 to 5 feet of inundation along the immediate coastal areas east of Grand Isle, 2 to 4 feet inundation when possible along the immediate coastal areas west of Grand Isle, and then 2 to 4 inundation possible along the shores of Lake Pontchartrain and Maurepas. So again, just something to take in consideration as we move closer. We could be dealing with some coastal flooding or storm surge issues, and there could be the possibility of life-threatening inundation in some of these areas. Be aware that these could be upgraded to a warning as we get closer to the event. Whoops, let's go back there real quick. Move along. There we go. Here's another reminder of storm surge, how it can be deadly. Storm surge causes devastating flooding along the coast. As we get into the warning phase possibly coming up, we want you to listen to officials and follow evacuation orders if they become required. And most importantly, of course, stay weather ready. A flash flood watch has also been posted for parts of southeast Louisiana. This is effect late Sunday night through Tuesday morning, where flash flooding conditions could be possible in the area. What we need to know about this is, of course, there could be some localized flooding across the area with Marco, and this may be expanded north and east as time continues as the event unfolds coming up on Monday. So again, as we're kind of going to talk a little bit more. Whoops, let's see if we can get back on track there. Looks like we lost the... So yeah, looks like that was the last slide. So we want to go back here real quick and talk about what we can see expecting across the area. Really quick here, just talking about where the system's located. Here's the two systems. Again, Marco is between the Yucatan Peninsula and near the tip of Cuba, and Laura's coming up as well. We're going to be seeing impacts from both systems, and we want you to be as prepared as possible as we get up close as we get to Monday and Tuesday. These are the This is tropical storm predictions as far as the likely arrival time of tropical storm force winds for Marco as we come up towards early this week. We want you to show you this line. You see the bright colors; those are higher possibilities of tropical storm force winds. Conditions will begin to deteriorate based on the likelihood of tropical storm conditions late Sunday and into early Monday. That means prior to that, you have to have your preparations done and in place by that time. So again, from just the tip of southeast Louisiana up to going up towards like even our southern areas of southern Mississippi, that's from Sunday at 8 p.m. to Monday at 8 a.m. That time frame is where we're going to see the earliest arrival lead time of tropical storm force winds for this system. And then as we get through the day on Monday, the conditions are going to be very tricky. Because we don't necessarily are very confident on the exact location of the center of the storm. That'll determine where the worst impacts will be, closer to the center, and of course, as you always have heard, to the east of the center as well. Going beyond that, for Tropical Storm Laura, which is forecast to become Hurricane Laura in the Gulf of Mexico. For that system, that's also going to be following behind. Conditions will start to deteriorate yet again, beginning late Tuesday and lasting into the day on Wednesday, and possibly lasting as late as Thursday. So the big point here is we want to say this one more time. When Marco comes up through this way and it causes some impacts, don't let your guard down and stay vigilant to changing conditions across the area. We also want to mention as well that we do have the potential for some isolated tornadoes depending on the track of the location. We have no formal risk of severe weather at this time, but that may change as we get up a little bit closer. Some short-lived and fast-moving tornadoes could occur on Marco's outer bands depending on where the center sets up. So be aware of that there could be watches in effect where to the center and to the east of the storm's center as well. And again, that's going to be something we want to kind of pass along there. We want to also, some other considerations we want to pass along too, is our Tropical Storm Laura could bring stronger winds to the area, higher inundation, and even additional heavy rainfall to the area too. So we know that one's could be a little bit more of a significant impact, but really we want people to be prepared for both. Keep in mind that preparation for Tropical Storm Laura may be more difficult due to lingering impacts from Marco as well. So treat this as a long duration event. Don't let your guard down in between the storms and just take this a step at a time for each one. Now is the time to take your preparations. Now is the time to make sure you have a very safe plan in place as we get closer to the event. Again, here's another look real quick at Marco in the Gulf. We're watching the storm going to be organizing. Thankfully, there is a little bit of shear that is encountering now, which should keep the storm weaker as it comes up here. However, impacts still remain possible. And again, we're going to be watching very closely Laura further back to the east as the system approaches as well. What we're going to do is end it there because we want to go too long. We're going to do another Facebook Live, probably another few hours, maybe 8 or 9 o'clock, depending on just how conditions unfold. Again, there's a lot going on now, and that's because we want to keep you safe as possible and let you know about the impending storm and want you to be as prepared as possible. So we're going to end it there, and we're going to go probably in a little bit more detail as we come up later tonight. We just wanted to currently pass along for everyone what the latest is with this storm. So we're going to end it there real quick, and like I said, we plan on being back a little bit later here in a few hours. So have a great evening and take care.